Somalia is chaos and is very confused nation, and it's been on these things for the last 25 years. And I don't know how we get out of this. And I hope the international community is giving attention to the situation in Somalia.
And how has it changed in the time since you first came to Canada and when you went back for a year?
Well, I've been to Somalia quite a few times, and anytime I go back, it's getting worse. I'm getting worse. At the present situation, there's no farming, there's no food. And the people who are the indigenous people, who are the local farmers, has been kicked out from their farms, and some of them have been slaves, some of them have been killed, and there are refugee camps in Kenya. So the international community has to give a lot of attention. Rather than giving food aid programs, they should be that nation to be sustained itself. Giving food aid program is easy to get. Charity begins at home. So my suggestion is not to give food aid programs to Somalia, so the people will start working by themselves.
And one of the terms you've used is it's a man-made famine. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yes, because man-made famine, since I'm an agronomist, understanding agricultural system and ecology, whole environment in that particular region, we have seasonal drought, but this is an intentional drought being made to get money from the international community. So Somalia is being taken hostage by a group of Islamic fundamentalists, or I call them Islamic warlordism, or Islamic gangsterism, creating all this kind of chaos to get money, to profit themselves and buy houses in Indonesia, Malaysia, and East Africa, Kenya. So it's a mafia style.
But what would you say to someone who looks at your suggestion not to provide aid for the famine and say that it's just going to lead to more deaths?
Well, it's very difficult, cynical to go that particular route. But people will learn how to sustain themselves, how to keep their life going on, rather than depending the rest of their lives to another nation. So, you know, the Somali situation needs Somalia to take care of themselves, rather than asking for a big help all the time. Because these people, if you give them help, they won't say thank you very much. They think that, you know, it's easy to get these infidels, give us this food, so we don't care about them. They will give us continuously. So that's my suggestion.
And what's your assessment of the role Saudi Arabia is playing in Somalia today?
Well, Saudi Arabia, they have two faces. On one side, they say we are friends of the United States. On the other side, they are using Somalia as a proxy war or a staging ground to create conflicts in East Africa, in the region where they call, and these people are not, they are not following the Sharia law. They are not following the Islamic law. So Somalia, they use one side as a staging ground to create conflicts within the region and internationally. So on one side they say we are friends of the United States. So the US has to decide one way or the other, because Saudi Arabia is one country who doesn't care the whole world. They care themselves to preach their hatred toward the West, you know, in Africa.